Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. Florida Public Schools open for the new year. We have a recap. The city commemorates International Overdose Awareness Month, and we look at a sculpture focusing on the history of the city's residents being installed at Government Center. All this and more coming up. We start with a weather update as the city of Fall River and much of the Northeast was battered last night by the remnants of Hurricane Ida. Over 5 inches of rain was reported within our region, flooding roads. Here's a look at Route 24 at the Airport Road exit, courtesy of WPRI Channel 12. According to Mayor Paul Coogan, the storm did have a minor impact within the city.
2 schools closed due to flooding, Laterno and Argosy Charter School, and a street washed out off of Stafford Road, Spencer Street. We had a washout down there. They're fixing it now, or they're down there appraising it, and those were the worst things I heard. There was obviously the usual hot spots of Stafford Square, Plymouth Avenue. Those flooded out a little bit too, but other than that, the city seemed to get through pretty well.
Residual flooding is expected to continue over the next few days.
It's so exciting. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Our kids have been out of school, our staff. We want some sort of normalcy, and this is a good way to start. You can feel the energy in the air. It's a great first day.
Fall River Interim Superintendent of Schools Maria Ponce expressing the feelings of many as the new school year began yesterday, fully in person, for the first time since the onset of the pandemic in March of 2020. Ponce says this opening day is especially welcomed as students and teachers return to what will hopefully turn out to be as normal a school year as possible.
We're looking forward to a full year of in-person learning. That's a number one priority. I think that our district's been through a lot, like every other district. It's important for us to stabilize our schools, to make sure that everybody feels comfortable being back, and that we work towards a successful new year. Certainly we know that kids have been away. There's been interrupted learning. We're going to do our best to teach forward, as well as to provide supports for students with their lagging skills. We have staff that's second to none, so I have no doubt that we're going to be doing that as a district.
Ponce says she understands any anxiety parents may have over their children returning to class in the face of the pandemic, and says the health and safety of all students are the district's top priority. Doran Community School parents Kate and Leanne Brady homeschooled their 5 children last year when classes were primarily remote. They greet their children's return to class with both hope and caution.
We definitely are concerned, very concerned about the Delta variant, the numbers, what's going to happen. Our kids have been informed that they have to leave their masks on. We have to socially distance. We are taking it very seriously. But truthfully, we're kind of just waiting for that shoe to drop when school gets shut down. And we're
go back to remote
right,
learning.
and we're just trying to be prepared for that to happen and be flexible. They have a lot of anxiety because of all the newness of the whole situation, but they are so excited to be in public school again
And make friends and
I feel like
community.
Yes, definitely. I feel like that will be the main way that they get through this year, is being so excited about having a classroom again, and we're really talking that up to help them get through the anxiety of it.
Tansy Elementary School parent Goretti Madeira says it's important for her 2nd grade son to attend class in person.
I feel good about it, really good about it. He's going into 2nd grade, and since kindergarten he's been remote, and he's really lost a lot, and I think the kids learn a lot better when they're in school with the teacher. So I'm really excited about it. I myself don't have any concerns. I feel like the school does a really good job at keeping the kids safe. So no, I don't really have many concerns about it. This past summer, my son came to camp, and there were no issues at camp, and they didn't even have to wear masks at school at camp this summer. So I think they did a really good job, so I'm not concerned at all.
Tansy teacher Lynn Pavid says teaching remotely for the last year and a half has provided some unexpected benefits for students when they return to the classroom.
It's really
encouraged us to think outside the box. I think we learned a few things about how we did things that we actually want to keep and incorporate in how things are done going forward, using different spaces of the school. We've always been a school that kind of makes the most of what we have for space and for our resources. So this has just kind of encouraged everybody to keep that, keep that thinking going, and things that I think the kids really kind of have liked. So yeah, I'm excited to get everybody back. I really am.
The start of school at the new BMC Durfee High School has been delayed until next week. Sophomores and seniors will report on Tuesday, September 7th, with freshmen and juniors arriving on Wednesday, September 8th. Bristol Community College begins its new academic year next Tuesday. Following last year when there were limited in-person classes, this year the college will offer options for both online and in-person learners. Bristol President Dr. Laura Douglas says, unlike a year ago, services will be made available at all 4 Bristol locations.
We did only have 2 campuses open last year, Fall River and New Bedford. Those are the campuses where we had really had to do more in-person instruction. So think culinary arts and veterinary health and dental hygiene and nursing, occupational therapy. And our other campuses, Attleboro and Taunton, were not open to the public. So Attleboro is open, fully open, as is Taunton, but our new location is in Taunton Center. We were at the Galleria Mall, and that space was sold, so we had to find a new location. And we are on Hamilton Street, where the old Coyle Cassidy High School is, just a short walk from the Taunton Green, and it's on the Gatra bus line. And we will have more space than we've ever had before for Taunton.
Dr. Douglas says those on campus this semester will be required to wear masks indoors regardless of vaccination status. There will also be other COVID requirements for students.
We are also requiring certain student groups to be COVID tested on a regular basis. Some began their testing protocols today in advance of starting next week. We do have a number of health science students who are working directly with patients, such as students in nursing and dental hygiene. So we want to make sure that they are COVID-free, even though they've been vaccinated. And for the rest of our student body, on all of our 4 campuses, we will be embarking on random COVID testing. Our students, our adult students and traditional students who come and go, most of our students are part-time students, so we can't require them to come in on a certain day, maybe like residential students, but we go to our students and we will be saying, okay, it's your turn, please come and get tested.
Since the onset of the pandemic, many Bristol students paused their education because of health or economic concerns. Dr. Douglas says the college is putting a concerted effort together to reach out to those students to get them back to school.
We have started a new success center with specialized coaches. We've hired 4 coaches, and the goal of this center is to work to bring every student back to Bristol, every student that we lost in the pandemic, and helping those students with how to pay for college, how to get back on track with academic advising, what might they need in terms of childcare. We know that childcare is still a challenge for many parents. Also things like transportation, career services. So we're going to be helping these students come back to Bristol, and we hope that we can get every student back. If we don't get our students back, then we will be crippled. Our workforce here in Bristol County will certainly be crippled. We need these students to come to us, get their certificates, get their degrees, and get out in the workforce. Our workforce is counting on these students.
The new year will also see the return of Bayhawk athletics, as all competitions were canceled last year due to the pandemic. Now the latest update on the COVID-19 pandemic in Fall River. Here are the latest local case and vaccination numbers as of last Thursday, August 26th. There were 151 new cases of COVID-19 in Fall River last week, up from 155 the week prior. The city now has 15,034 cases confirmed since the onset of the pandemic. On the vaccine front, 55% or 49,429 city residents have received at least one dose of the vaccine, with half or 44,335 residents now fully vaccinated. The easiest way to find out where to get the vaccine in Fall River is through the city's vaccination webpage at frvax.com or by calling 833-8VAX-NOW or 833-882-9669. You can also visit the state's website at vaxfinder.mass.gov, and you can also dial 211. There will be a vaccine clinic this weekend at Price Right on Pleasant Street. Friday and Saturday hours are from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., and the Sunday clinic will run from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Vaccinations are free and no appointment is needed. Recover Fall River sponsored a commemoration of International Overdose Awareness Month with a resource fair and ceremony this week outside Government Center. The goal? Bring awareness to the issue of substance abuse disorder and provide guidance to those addicted and their families.
2020, we had 93,391 overdose deaths in the United States. That's up 30% from the year before. We understand that COVID played a big piece in that. I feel like I'm really short. So we want to really make sure people are getting into meetings and utilizing Zoom and doing those things, so kind of even the individuals who lost loved ones, there's support groups online if you can't get out of the house. There are meetings out there for you to connect with loved ones who are going through exactly what you're going through. And we understand the stigma that's attached to losing a loved one due to substance use disorder. And how I handle that is I just say I lost my brother to a fatal brain disease. Okay? And when they ask, oh my goodness, what happened? He had substance use disorder. And that's a great way to educate, and it starts to destigmatize what substance use disorder is.
One of the other speakers at the event was Jocelyn Cabral. She and her family have had a long battle with substance abuse.
See, the disease of addiction is cunning, baffling, and insidious. It does not discriminate. You can't look at someone and say this person is an addict. It doesn't matter if you're white, if you're black, if you're rich, if you're poor. It just doesn't matter. It's a brain disease. The stigma must go. Because of that stigma, I was unable to get clean and stay clean because I was not willing to say that I had a moral deficiency. Little did I know it didn't mean so. In July 2015, I got the call. It was the most devastating call of my life. I had 7 months clean. I got the call that my little brother was dead, died of an overdose. And the thing that hurt the most is we didn't even know he was using, not even me. And I know when somebody's using. I'm a recovering addict. I wasn't able to help my brother. I didn't see that he was using. I didn't see that he was suffering.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Donor Center Technician, Biomat USA Incorporated, located at 315 Pleasant Street, seeks a full-time donor center technician to conduct pre-donation medical screenings and maintain accurate and thorough documentation of necessary records. Job number 153-87211. Front Desk Clerk, General Fitness, located at 425 Pleasant Street, is looking for a part-time front desk clerk to undertake all receptionist duties at the desk of our main entrance. Job number 153-92608. Food Safety Quality Tech, Blount Fine Foods, located at 630 Current Road, is in need of a full-time food safety quality tech to assist food safety quality management in the maintenance of overall product quality and safety. Job number 154-04614. Dishwasher, Boston Market, located at 30 12th Street, is looking for a part-time dishwasher. For more information, call 508-324-1195. Walgreens, located at 1512 South Main Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Pharmacist, job number 154-06652. Pharmacy technician, job number 154-03008. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The city's preliminary election is about 3 weeks away, and we at FRCMedia have invited the 4 candidates running for mayor to record statements to the voters through our Meet the Candidates program. We'll be sharing those statements right here on the show over the next 3 episodes. This week, we hear from candidate Jonathan Albernaz.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Albernaz, and I am running to be the next mayor of Fall River. In March of 2020, the government imposed a devastating lockdown upon the people of Fall River. This resulted in shutting down most of the city's businesses, bringing the economy and the livelihood of its citizens to a forced halt. Although measures have been lifted for the summer, the government is contemplating enforcing another lockdown, regardless of the people's consent, the science community's opposing data and analytics, and of the legal violations of state and federal laws which protect your liberties and personal sovereignty. So long as we the people afford the United States Constitution our consent, it serves as the supreme law of the land. As declared within it, the powers of government are limited, enumerated, and explicit, not implicit, inferred, or open to impatient interpretation. You are a free people, with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The government has demonstrated incompetence in protecting these 3 sacred rights, instead opting for tyrannical measures that history can attest as practices of authoritarian and totalitarian regimes. The United States is a republic which recognizes that your individual and inalienable rights are derived from natural law. A benevolent government would offer suggestions to the people and leave it to each individual to make their own respectful decisions based upon their unique situations and best interests. A recent and pressing issue is of the governor's declaration that executive branch government employees must show proof of their immunization status by the upcoming October deadline. As mayor of Fall River, I would not allow these mandates to be enforced upon the people. It is not the government's business to dictate and regulate the private health status of our local police officers, firefighters, teachers, and other government employees. These mandates encroach upon our individual rights to bodily autonomy, privacy, and personal sovereignty. These rights are not granted to us by the government, but rather something greater, that of natural law bestowed upon us by our Creator. As the mayor of Fall River, there will be no government-enforced lockdown or shutdown of businesses, both small or large. We will offer suggestions to inform the people of Fall River and present them with as many known viable options. Each of the city's citizens will be empowered to make their own decisions. The United States is the world's beacon and ever-burning torch of freedom and prosperity. When dictators like Salazar of Portugal and communist Pol Pot of Cambodia oppressed their peoples, these oppressed people looked to Fall River as their place of refuge and salvation. With respect and pride to these communities and others, Fall River must continue to serve as a torch of freedom from current and future tyrants. So with a desire to ensure that all people of Fall River have the opportunity to thrive in an ever-prosperous future, consider voting for Jonathan Albernaz as your next mayor of Fall River.
You can find all the candidate statements on our website, frmedia.org. Next week, FRCmedia will be providing video coverage of 2 mayoral candidate forums. On Wednesday, September 8th at 7 p.m., we'll be providing coverage of the forum sponsored by the Fall River Reporter. You can watch on Channel 95, our website, and our Facebook page. Next Friday, we'll be working with WHTB Radio in video production of their debate. More on that next week. If you've been by Government Center this week, you may have noticed a sculpture being installed on the building's southwest corner. Former Fall River City Councilor Stephen Camara pitched the idea for the sculpture to city native and artist Barney Zeitz. Zeitz sees the project as a way to reflect the history of the people of Fall River, titling the piece Cornerstone Sculpture Project about diversity.
Fall River is really diverse, and I first thought about just doing it about workers and immigrants, and he said, don't forget, indigenous people were the first people, and they're based from here, like Massasoit was right across in Mount Hope, which is within eyesight of here. So I really looked into it, and then we talked later about the fact that the people didn't choose to come as slaves. So I used in the quote, enslaved. So to the enduring memory of our ancestors, indigenous peoples, then immigrants, the enslaved, and refugees. And then we go on to talk about the future. May we, their descendants, together with newcomers, help build a more just and peaceful community. So this is, first thinking about the past and then looking to the future.
Zeit says the project took 2 full years to complete with material sourced locally.
It took 2 years. It's all hand done, forged and welded stainless steel, and it's all rods to build the armature and plates to fit on. And all the materials came from Mid-City Steel from their surplus, and none of it was used, but it's all like either cut-offs or surplus materials that have been there. So I've gathered these materials for 30 years, so I have rods and bars and all kinds of good stuff.
About $150,000 has been raised for the project thus far.
The big one is the Bay Coast Bank and the Amy Bear Foundation, and Bernie Taradash advises them. He actually knew Amy Bear and built a fund in honor of her. So they were the 2 biggest funders, and then we had other banks and other individuals. I went on Facebook. I did like 5 or 6 different fundraising drives. I got over $10,000 that way. And everyone that gives anything gets their name on it. So I have lots of scribing to do. And we're going to hand write all the smaller ones. It'll be a little more personal. But there's room to add more names. People want to donate.
Zeitz hopes this project will spur the expansion of the fine arts within the city of Fall River.
We're thinking about starting a workshop to train people how to weld and make things. And there's some future possibilities here in Fall River we're hoping to look into, whether it's at Merrow or maybe the Narrow Center. But there's a lot of enthusiasm, and I know people would fund it. And so that could go on to this sculpture as well.
The sculpture will be dedicated at a ceremony outside Government Center on Sunday, September 12th at noon. We'll wrap up FRC Media News right after this.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Pickles. Pickles is a roughly 1-year-old, possibly Pitty English Bulldog mix, although we're not too sure on that one. Pickles is a little bit of a special case. He is deaf, but that doesn't get in his way. He still very much enjoys life. He's a very active dog. He'd do incredibly well with an active family. He is pretty vocal. When he wants attention, he will let you know it, and everyone around you will know it too. Pickles is going to do really well in a home with patience. Again, he is a deaf dog, so you can't just simply tell him not to do something, because he's not going to hear you. So, if you think you have what it takes to bring this bundle of energy into your home, head on over to foreverpaws.com, fill out an application, and then once you're approved, we can give you a call to make an appointment. Come on down to 300 Linwood Street and meet Pickles.
Today we have Sissy. Sissy up here is a 4-year-old. She's a long hair, tabby and white. She's all bundled up in her little house up here. She loves this particular spot. She's a little bit of a lazy cat, I would say. She finds a spot. She likes to just find a spot, curl up there and sleep away the days. Sissy always looks like she's got a mean streak on her face. You can tell, I'm sure, by the shot. She always looks like she's very mean, but she's not at all. That's just her resting face. She is a very nice girl, though. As far as the kind of home that she would be best in, normal, everyday comings and goings sort of thing. No dogs for her, but other cats are fine. She is here in one of our communal rooms. Other cats would be totally fine. So if you'd like to meet Sissy, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please check out our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.